You thought the audio was done. A nice prank I pulled, no? Best part is if someone increased their volume and thought like, oh god, that was. Tell me if you got pranked. Okay. Oh goodness. Always wanted to do that, you know. Anyway. Look, man, look. See. Looks nice, no? It is a nice day, you know. Sunny. That's why I decided I'll run a little bit more and a little more sweat, you know. All the vitamin E. Vitamin E! By the way, I don't know if you watched the previous video. I was talking about that small girl and that incident that happened. If you have not seen it, watch that video. It's a nice, touching one. I think it's one video before this, yeah. That Nothing series. I made a playlist, you can check it out. You can type Loy Machedo Nothing playlist. You know? All the Nothing series are in that. See monkeys. Monkeys, they pick up the coconuts. I don't know how they train them, but anyway. Alright, today I'll give you a real life incident that is just the absolute opposite. It's the opposite of the video I spoke about yesterday. That previous video is like a feel good. This one is okay. I'll change the identity. I'll change a few things so just to protect the privacy of this person. Now, you know, when you're in love with a girl, when you like a girl, or when you in love, like feelings, you obviously want to be with the girl, and obviously emotions and feelings. And then when sex is involved, and if the sex is great and it's addictive, then obviously for a guy who is emotionally attached, he gets even more attached. In those days I was not much of a playboy, I guess. Don't remember also. But I was dating her, and great sex. Oh, amazing sex. So obviously I was very inclined towards her. I wanted to, you know, the typical marry her and be with her forever. And the only problem was, this girl came from a very like upper middle class family. Not rich, but upper middle class. Father had 2-3 businesses. Mother had one business. Her brothers, sisters were highly educated. They went to some of the best schools and colleges. And their family was, you know, like they stayed in a nice house. So obviously, you know, I really wanted her in my life. And, you know, I used to imagine and visualize that this family will be one day mine. And, you know, we have these hopes and dreams, all this bullshit. So one day, you know, I told her, how about meeting the family? You know, just say, hi, how are you? She's like, yeah, sure, come down. Went to the house. House was beautiful. House was really nice. House was really amazing, I'll tell you that. Whew. The furniture, the decor, they had dogs, and when you go in, pay fucking ass house, and oh, amazing. Fine. And I sat down, and nice sofa and all that. And oh, Oh, she was looking gorgeous. So the mother, father came out, and obviously she didn't introduce me as a boyfriend. She introduced me as friend. Friend. And I, those days didn't have tattoos, nothing. Was prim and proper. And so, yeah, the mother, father, very classy. When you're rich, you smell of perfume, you wear nice clothes, elegantly you walk. Hi, beta. How are you? And beta means son. And the mother, oh, how are you doing? And sat down. So we were talking, and I guess, I don't know what, but I guess the father was kind of suspicious that maybe I was dating his daughter. The father, mothers are always smart. And even the mother, I think, they both, with the way maybe I was looking at her, or I don't know what it was. So asking, so what do you guys do, and where do you meet, and how did you meet, and this and that. And so slightly the tone changed after some time. Maybe because they could read my face. And then afterwards I saw the brother, sister. They come in and they introduce me. Hey, how are you, and all this and that. And obviously snobby, because rich, well-to-do, each one had a car. And they came to me, and finally I remember the brother, I don't know, he was eating something, and I just looked and then said, hey, you want? And he threw it at me, and it, just obviously because, he's a hot shot and I'm just a... So the meeting was slightly awkward, but we said, okay, bye-bye. I went. Following that, the next day, she had this thing with me, discussion. So my father and mother were asking me, what am I doing with you, and who are you, and, am I dating you? And she said, let's keep it a low profile, and I don't want my parents to know anything. So I was like, okay, and all that. But later on, I told her, one day I'll, ask your hand in marriage and all. She didn't say anything much. Okay. And we were just talking. Continued our relationship until one day came to the point of she had to break up with me. And the reason for the breakup was the mother and father found a nice boy for her. Obviously, it was devastating for me. But I told her, if you want, I'll talk to your mom and dad. When you're young, you feel low, you see too many movies, and I'll talk to him. She said, no, Loy, listen, please, don't. The guy who they've chosen for me is from a nice family, and this and that. She was not rude to me, she was not saying, and she was right. It was from a well-to-do family, and I didn't have a proper family. The guy was well-educated. I was a dropout. He was really good looking, really good looking. And by the way, I forgot to tell you, this girl was also very gifted and talented in terms of arts, like singing and drama and movies. And this guy was actually into the same line of work as whatever, producer, director, whatever. So he was even more richer. So it was a relationship made in heaven. And those days there was no YouTube and all that stuff, So there was no concept of being viral on YouTube and all that. But this guy was into movies, and he wanted to take her into movies. And so not only great career, but also movie star and all that. So she had a promising thing. So I decided I would go and, just meet the family, congratulate everyone. So I went again, just to meet the family, congratulate. I think it was a kind of a party. The father, mother were not happy at all seeing me. Oof, they were not at all happy. I think by the time, maybe they knew I was dating or whatever, but they were not at all happy, and they didn't insult me, but they didn't want anything to do with me. And I could literally feel it, and eventually I left the party early because it's feeling too awkward. I didn't know anyone, and The only person I knew was my girlfriend and ex-girlfriend. And, I genuinely went there just to be happy for her. But I left. I guess I was not wanted. Father, mother didn't want to see my face. Yeah, so, then you go on with your life. And once you get married, obviously the girl doesn't keep in touch with her ex-boyfriends and all that. And that time there was no social media and all that craziness. However, after a couple of years, quite a number of them, I bumped into the same girl again. But this time, I'll tell you, when I bumped into her, it was a shock. It was a total and utter shock. And I'll tell you why. I was in this shopping mall. Obviously, my heyday is bodybuilding and buffed. And that time I had a nice career and all that, compared to when she had met me. And this woman comes and, hey, how are you? Oh my goodness, look at you. And by the time I had a few tattoos, and I was like wondering, who the hell is this? And those days bodybuilding, and I was really buff and looking cool and all that. And obviously has to go and show off. So this lady, hey, this, that. I was trying to wonder, who's this? I knew I met her somewhere. I didn't know who it was. Finally, she said, it's me. And I got a shock of my life when she said who it was. She had put on, she was almost double the weight, double or 3 times the weight. And obviously she had kids. So kids were around. I couldn't believe. I was like, oh, wow. Goodness. And how are you? Oh my God, look at you and this and that. Oh, you've changed so much. And she was nice again. And finally she said, come down once. And I was like, okay. And exchanged numbers. Eventually one day, she insisted and, come and meet the family and this and that. And so one day, I guess I was passing by that particular area and I gave her a call and I said, I'll just come meet you. So more or less, they were staying in the same area. It was a joint family. This time when I went there, things had changed a lot. You remember I told you the sofa, this, that, all that. It was expensive, nice, and house was... This time when I went in, things had not changed. It was more or less the same, but now you could make out everything had looked older. And the funny thing is, she was there. She was really big, man. Oh my goodness. Without the makeup and normal house clothes, kids are making noise and all that. And when the mother, father came out, oh, they had aged as if, like, I don't know, like normally if you see someone after 5 years, they age slightly. They had aged like 15 years or 20 years. I was like, what the fuck happened to them? They'd aged a lot, and the mother could hardly talk and she was finding it hard to breathe, and father was slightly okay. And it was like deja vu, just... And then as we were talking, I told they had other brothers and sisters, and I stayed and they offered dinner, and I didn't want to this thing, but they didn't talk much, but we were just talking about me mostly, and they were very nice to me. And then that same brother, remember that guy who threw the food at me or threw something, whatever, he also looked old and bald and he had put on weight. Okay. I didn't understand. There was something definitely wrong. So I said bye, and this kind of irritated me and bugged me. What the fuck happened, Later on, when we spoke, I spoke to her over the phone. Long story short, her marriage with this guy didn't work out. After they had kids and all that, she ended up having problems, and she got diabetes due to, I don't know, maybe a drinking problem or all that. Then she got a thyroid issue and she put on weight, and then they got a divorce. It was not like an ugly divorce, but it was a divorce nonetheless. And then obviously there were no more acting careers, or nobody wants you when you're fat and old and whatever. So she had to go back to her career, but because she had to manage a kid, she found it hard. The mother's business shut down. Father's business, it seems someone cheated him, his partner, and they all ended up in loans. They had taken loans, and then that other guy, he ended up in prison due to something he did. They didn't tell me like what it was. He ended up in prison and he came out. I suspect it was maybe a check issue or something, and that impacted his business and his career. And now the family was just not, and when I look back and when I think, it's like, fuck, man. 1 minute you're top of the world. Now, mind you, these are not bad people. They're not like, they didn't treat me like shit, or, obviously when you're dating their daughter and they don't approve of it and there's another marriage, and I understand that. I would have behaved the same way. But it just makes you think that, like, life can be so, like, 1 minute you can be up there, and 1 minute you can have a promising career and a future and happily ever after and a business. And now, why did this story come up? It's because just found out through someone else. She didn't tell me. We're not in touch like as much, or rather we're not in touch at all. I found out her mother had died and father died subsequently after some time. And they lost that house. They used to stay as a joint family. The family is completely broken, and now she's staying in a small, teeny little apartment, and she has to work because there's no one to support her. It seems the family property, they had a dispute between the brothers and sisters, and that became another hassle. Yeah, the reason I'm sharing this with you is life is so fucking unpredictable, man. You can be top of the world and you can be rich, famous, successful, but then you don't know what the fuck is going to happen. Like for me, many people ask me like, wow, you're this, you're that, you're famous, you're successful. And what fame, what success, what this, what that. Because, like my grandmother used to say, even though I totally despise her, she used to have a few nuggets of wisdom from the village. They have these sayings, no? She used to say that if you get 3 days fever, all your, pride will go down. You just have to fall sick or get an accident or some unfortunate thing has to happen. Like this COVID. How many people who had successful big businesses and just got totally fucked? I remember this one guy, I don't know, Lebanese or Syrian, or he had a boutique store. He called it a boutique store. He called it, boutique studio. Yeah. Means there were refreshments, there was food, there was all this expensive painting, and he wanted this place to be a networking area of the who's who, and it was always classy, and he didn't treat me bad or anything, but just always have this air about him. He got in touch with me during COVID, and he actually asked me, like, can you help me for a job? From being a business owner, from being a guy who used to rub shoulders with who's who and drive expensive cars, and like he would go to only VIP parties and designer clothes, and he's asking for a job, because all business, everything, girlfriend, he lost everything. I guess I have gone through it. Now I know my haters will say, Loy, one day you'll also get. I've already been through that year, 2011. That's why I'm always afraid, You just don't know what the fuck is going to happen. You can be up there one day. I'm sure if you know your relatives, your friends, people in your family and all that, I'm sure you must have seen this. You know, when you're young and you feel invincible, and when time passes by, then, you know, the fortunes change. And yes, age catches up. To all of us, age catches up, unexpected incidents. That is why I tell people, don't let money, success, fame change you. It's all temporary. And don't let it change you, because then you have to come back to basics. So that is why for me also, all this success, fame, this, that, I don't let it go to my head. Because I remind myself, remember, went through a tough time. That 2011 suicide video reminds me, don't let it go to your head. So yeah, that's it, man. Anyway, compared to last time's video, that small girl, which was positive and feel good, today I'm giving you, which was inspiring. See that video, it's a nice one. Today is just the bang opposite, to maybe keep you grounded to reality. We don't know what's going to happen to us, you know. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Okay, you guys take care. See you.